keep it going for Daniel Baltazar!
The wolf is strong with this crowd. Even though it may be Star Wars Day, I don't really have many Star Wars jokes. I mean, I could go this current presidential term is just like the Empire, only not as cool. We don't have lightsabers. I mean, technically we kind of do, but we don't have a Jedi Order running around. I mean, hell, if I had a lightsaber, I'd probably fall under Gray Jedi. Yeah, that one's for all the Star Wars nerds. Only the Star Wars nerds know about the Gray Jedi. But anyway, so I'm not really a Star Wars fan. I don't know all the Glup shittos. I couldn't tell you like every single clone that was in the Clone Wars. But when I was a kid, even though I did have Lego Star Wars, that did kind of get my interest. It wasn't until like 2012 when I really got interested in Star Wars because of Angry Birds Star Wars. Yeah, just hang on. You're about to get into the autism part of this show, so don't get overstimulated. Oh, why'd you say, oh my god? You can admit that you and all of autism. It wasn't until 2012 when Angry Birds Star Wars came out that I really got interested in Star Wars. And because I was a kid, I was 9 years old, of course, I had to write a story that was basically just Star Wars, but all the characters are either SpongeBob characters or whatever other character I thought of. Because I wrote a lot of terrible stories when I was a kid. Like, it's the kind of shit that you'd see on DeviantArt for all the younger guys out there, all the Gen Z out there. And the worst part is that I tried dragging a lot of people in and tried selling this shit like it was Shakespeare. I thought it was gonna get me the New York Times bestseller. All it was gonna get me was lawsuits. That's also why I'm glad I never became a movie director, because if I tried turning that shit into movies, it would just be an all-out brawl between Nickelodeon, I think it would have been Fox at the time, because they owned Star Wars, and Disney. It's a three-way brawl. Who's gonna sue them? Or Disney just pull the real Star Wars and just consumes them all like Darth Nihilus. But yeah, these stories were terrible. Like, I had SpongeBob as Luke Skywalker. All the bad guys were just plankton. And it all persisted into middle school too. Like, I wrote basically my own MCU in middle school, in 6th grade, all the way up until high school graduation, where it was like somewhat better, but it's like polishing a turd. No matter how much you polish a turd, it's still gonna be shit. And I tried explaining things and rationalizing it. Yeah, it's still bad. Now, even though I talk a lot about my hobbies and even these stories, it just really has me thinking, do you really want more people like me running around? That's why I don't get laid. Because these stories are my version of my brain reminding me of terrible mistakes I've made throughout my childhood. It's like, which terrible story do we want to pull up this time? Oh, we want to pull up the time where SpongeBob went into Brave, the Disney movie from 2012, and made SpongeBob fall in love with a 16-year-old. Yeah, that's the exact reaction it deserves. What the fuck was that on? But at least at the time, you could explain it away. Oh, he's a kid. He doesn't know. That's kind of a double-edged sword, or in this case, a double-edged lightsaber, minus the, I don't know what the right word would be, same skill as Darth Maul. You'd pretty much have to cut me off at the waist just to stop those stories. Yeah, that's why I don't want to be, that's why I'm not going to be a parent, even if the economy gets its shit together. Because I don't want to have my own kid come up to me with these shitty stories and I just get flashbacks like I was in the Clone Wars. And another thing, how do I know that the girl is... Because I know that there's Star Wars girls, there's female nerds out there. And Tyson, it's funny that you say that you're not a nerd when you were on a D&D podcast.
Don't you dare.
I do dare. I will fucking dare. I will fucking dare, especially from the guy who fetishizes me and infantilizes me, calling me soft and squishy. And that's some straight up pedophile shit. You're no different from Disney adults. We all know that Disney adults are pretty much pedophiles.
Hey, watch it.
No, I won't. Well, we found one. Yeah, but how do I know that the girl nerds aren't just LARPers? How do I know that they're not only into Star Wars because of the little green shit from the Mandalorian? That's why I fucking hate the Mandalorian. I just want to play kick the baby with that little green shit. Yeah, that's how you get me into football. You just tell me, hey, that football is the little green shit from the Mandalorian. We'll be like, oh hell yeah, sign me up. Yeah, how do I know? It's kind of funny that Disney adults are big fans of Lilo and Stitch, because what other group would be obsessed with a movie that addresses girls in basically what they were wearing on Epstein Island? Yeah. Or for Star Wars Day, how do we know? No. Pretty much Jabba's dancers. Anyways, that's been my time. Have a good night.
Nice. Keep it going for Daniel Baltazar and his squishy, lovable self, huh? If you agree with me, clap for that squishy son of a bitch. Fucking love that guy. Comes here every Monday. Appreciate him. Trev, what do you got?
Great set, Daniel. I love that Daniel started his set saying, I'm not a Star Wars nerd, and then proceeded to drop the 3 hardest fucking deep cuts I've ever heard in my life.